What's happening, everybody? Hope you're having a great Tuesday. A lot of stuff's been happening today. Been busy. I didn't get to bed until like 4:30, 5 o'clock last night, finishing videos. And then I woke up at 9 and cranked out the three of them. The Statue of Liberty flick on, I think I'm getting sick too, on the Trick Shot channel, the Brodie 21 channel. So go check those out. I think it's a throw, and then like a little challenge, and then like a blooper reel. The three videos there. Now today I actually wanted to talk about something completely different than what I'm going to talk about, and the reasoning is because I posted a couple videos. I posted a vlog. My vlog last night was a challenge to you guys watching it. Hopefully you saw it. If not, take a peek at it. It was a challenge to find something in your life that you wanted to change. And ooh, a golf ball. Yes, Callaway. Sweet. Find something in your life that you want to change, and then start changing. Start doing it that day. Don't wait. Oh, I'm gonna put you down here. Don't wait to change. So I talked about that yesterday, and then I also posted a video on the Everything Ultimate channel about kind of almost like a reply to the terrible refs that are, well, they're not terrible in the sense of people, they're just not qualified, that are reffing the NFL right now with the whole Green Bay Packers, the Seahawks. That kind of sparked a whole big discussion. And so I posted a quick video kind of talking about that yesterday, and then today I posted a video because with that video a lot of people started talking with the whole Green Bay Packers and stuff incident. A lot of people started talking about, oh, I'm so glad we don't have referees in our sport. Look at us, we are awesome, we make our own calls, all this stuff. And there was a lot of talk too, not just on making good calls, but on just the spirit of the game. A lot of people are talking about how spirit of the game is awesome, how it's always used, how like it's just never wrong, anything like that. It always happens. And I was just like, it's not the case. I know definitely kind of internationally, I would say spirit of the game is held to a higher standard, I would say at this point right now. So if you play over in Europe, or you play over in Australia, or really anywhere, Europe, Australia. I don't really know about the Middle East or Africa or Asia, but those countries, I know for a fact when I was there and kind of teaching some things, I got a lot of kind of tilted heads like, what? Did he just say to do that? Talking about like being physical on the mark or being physical downfield, because that's what elite teams do. I don't think I've ever played a game where I haven't had someone constantly touching me the entire time. And so it's not really apparent to, I guess, you guys, from the people that are over in those countries, because our sport the media isn't there yet. And basically any of the major sports, anywhere, in college even, when crazy plays happen, they get shown on SportsCenter and millions of people see it. When crazy stuff happens, for example, when I'm at regionals watching a game to go, we weren't playing, but I was watching a game to go. Towards the end of the game, the team that should be winning was down, losing, and some guy on the sideline, the captain of the team, because a lot of people still put these captains at higher standards than others, which they should be, but captain of the team stepped out on the field just a couple feet. Like, so let's say this is the sideline right here. So he's like standing basically on the sideline, because that's what ultimate players do. They literally just stand right here on the sideline. And let's just say the disc is here, whatever. Can you see that? And the guy that has the disc has a wide open huck for basically to win the game. I don't know if it was to win the game or to go up by 2 or whatever it was. And this guy literally just steps out like this, 2-3 feet onto the field, and basically makes it so the guy can't huck it. And what happened? Well, this is what happened. The team that had the disc kind of got upset a little bit. There was some talk, and then they were like, okay, well, let's just redo. Let's just start again. And that's all that happened. I don't think I've ever seen, I mean, it'd be equivalent to, in football, it'd be very equivalent to a coach, or, I mean, it could be a player, but, like, I guess you could even say a coach, where there's a punt return, and the guy's just coasting down the sideline, and he's going to run it in for a touchdown, and, like, the coach just comes out on the field and just trucks him and stops it. Like that, have we ever seen that before? No, but it happens in Ultimate because there's one, no one's going to know about it. I mean, people know about it now. I'm not going to say what team it was or who it was, but there really is no. And that actually, Next Gen, if you ever watch Next Gen, I know I'm jumping around, but if you ever watch Next Gen games, who do a really good job streaming games, teams play completely different when Next Gen is playing, filming them, than when there aren't, because they know in their head, hey, I've got a lot of people watching me, and there's replays, and people at home can see if I'm making a bad call or not. Versus you're just out on a prairie and no one's around, and if you make a bad call, who's gonna know? What, they're gonna go and say something on RSD? Cool, alright, say something on RSD. That doesn't change anything. Other things, people say that, I was thinking about writing down a bunch of stuff, but I'm just not going to. I think the best way of doing this, if you guys have questions, post in the comments and I'll try to answer as many as possible. But I do want to say a couple more things. Dang, there's a lot of topics I wanted to say about what people said and stuff that I just didn't really agree with. One was someone talking about how awesome Ultimate is because we get to make our own calls, and we make calls that referees wouldn't be able to see otherwise. Well, the funny thing about that is it's all perspective. Watch the 2010 National Championship game. A lot of it has been edited out, obviously, but for those people that watched that online, or that was the game that we played Carleton in the finals, for the people that watched that online or watched it in the stadium live, the majority of people, from what I've gotten from that game, it was the worst game ever. It was unwatchable. It was too hard. There were so many calls, whatever. I'm going to be honest with you. I called a foul 90% of the time I caught the disc. Why? Because whoever was guarding me, I think it was his goal to try to frustrate me or something like that, because I was getting grabbed, the disc was getting slapped, I was getting stepped on, I was getting bumped. All these things are fouls, and I called every single one because the guy's fouling me. If you watch Ultimate, actually, and you've seen a lot of games, how many times does someone get fouled on the mark or whatever and not call it and like play through? Because actually calling a foul on the offense at certain times is actually a disadvantage to the offense because it stops flow. And so, like, it's funny because people are like, it's so awesome because we get to call our own calls. Well, I called my own calls, and yet there's a lot of people out there saying that was the most unwatchable game because I called every time I got fouled because I wanted the observers to do something about it. Because, when I catch the disc, every time I catch the disc, you know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, where can I throw this disc? And for you to, every time I catch it, foul me, it's really an advantage for you to stop me from doing that. So that was an interesting point. Another point made was someone on Everything Ultimate talked about I know this vlog's long, but I told you it was going to be long because I had a lot to say. Someone on Everything Ultimate made a claim that speed of the game is what is bringing so many kids into Ultimate Frisbee. I don't know if I completely agree with that. It didn't bring me into Ultimate Frisbee. It didn't bring the 50 other people that played at my high school once every 2 weeks into Ultimate Frisbee. What brought us to go out there every 2 weeks and play was the fact that it was a fun sport to do. It's a lot of fun. You go out and you throw the disc around. It's a lot of fun. It, that Throwing a disc is fun. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. It's not the spirit of the game that brought me. That's just me. But I have had countless people tell me that they don't want to play Ultimate anymore, or they quit playing Ultimate in high school because kids get away with whatever calls they want. And I remember, man, back when it was a little earlier in high school, it was middle school, kind of middle school area. I played a lot of tennis, and very few tournaments had officials or had umpires, chair umpires, at these tournaments. And I remember it was sketchy at times, man. It was tough because the kids were calling their own lines, and if they wanted to call a ball out that skimmed the tape, they called it out, and there's nothing really you could do about it. And that was really frustrating because you couldn't control it. Someone else made a point that they would rather trust. Someone else made a point that they said that they trust the other team more than a third-party official. That's tough for me personally. It's not like I'm looking at other people and saying you're a cheater. I know you're cheating, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking this guy's trying to win the game. What does an official or referee have? Does he really care if my team wins or the other team wins? No, he's getting paid regardless. He's getting paid to do his job. And actually, he will get fined, or he might get suspended from doing other games if he does a poor job. So he's going to make sure to do a great job. What happens to a player if they don't do a good job at making calls? Nothing. Nothing happens. What happens to a player if he spikes the disc on top of a guy that just laid out in front of him? Nothing happens. I guess that player could, in fact, file a claim, send it to USA Ultimate. In about 5 months, USA Ultimate will send something back to the guy that spiked it saying, hey, what happened? And then 2 months later, and then something might happen. But, I mean, no one really wants to do paperwork and do all that stuff. So, to me, I have a hard time believing that someone that doesn't care one way or the other how the game turns out, but cares that he makes the right call because his job is on the line, I'm trusting that guy every time over anyone else. I'm trusting him over my teammates. If that guy's standing right there and he makes a call, my teammate's on the sideline saying, oh, that's the wrong call, I'm trusting that guy that made the call, because there's people out there that feel bad sometimes and do these makeup calls and stuff. I posted a video the other day on the Everything Ultimate channel with a guy doing a greatest, and there was like a bunch of people going, oh, his foot was down. His foot was down before he threw it. It didn't count. And then there were people on there saying, but it was such a great play, I would have given it to him. That's what I'm talking about. That's a problem with how our system is made up right now. It's made up by people that are putting their own emotions into the game and not just removing them like what a referee does and has no thing. There's one other thing I want to talk about. Oh, man. What was that one other thing? Am I going to forget it? I think I'm going to forget it. I do want to throw the Frisbee, so I'm going to have to go at some point. But there's so many other things I want to talk about all this talk and stuff. Because I know you guys are so interested with it. All right, let me get 10 seconds of think time, and let me try to remember it. Refs, observers. No, it's not happening. Can't think of it. All right, if you're still watching this, post any questions, comments, whatever you guys want in the description below, and I'll try to get back to you guys. But it's an interesting time, man. It's an interesting time where our sport's going, and I'm glad there's different opinions. I think we'd be in really a lot of trouble if there wasn't other opinions, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to voice my opinion. There's going to be people that agree with me. There's going to be people that disagree with me. Hopefully what this all comes out to is what I think the sport should go, and that should go kind of what the AUDL is doing. It should go in a way where there are different referees and leagues for all sorts of things. So I don't know, but at the end of the day, man, we're all throwing a disc and we all love doing it. If you're doing it for trick shots, if you're doing it for ultimate frisbee, if you're doing it to get the ladies, which some of you might be doing, psych. You know, we're all out doing what we love to do, and I just hope that we can make it a little more official at the top elite level. And it's not a bash against the other team and the other players and stuff. It's not a bash against other people. It really isn't. It's just all about, I just want to play the game and not have to worry about anything. Oh, I remember what I wanted to ask. Oh, if you're really watching, this is a treat. Oh, this is going to be a 20-minute video? Oh, man. But if you're watching this is going to be a treat for you. Here's my question to you. Okay, first question. Answer this one first. Is breaking the rules, or if you break the rules, does that consider do you make yourself if you break the rules, are you cheating? That's the first question. If you break the rules, are you cheating? We're just keeping it simple. Don't go crazy on me and like try to be like, oh, Brodie, what do you mean? But if you break the rules, do you consider that cheating? Second thing, if you break the rules not on purpose, okay? So the first question was just basic. You could be doing it on purpose, you could be not doing it on purpose. It was just basic. Now the question is, so let's say that you said, if you break the rules, it is cheating because if you're doing it on purpose. But now, if you break the rules without doing it on purpose, is that considered cheating? Yes or no? And that's a kind of important thing in ultimate, because you can just take something very simple like the travel, okay? If we agree, because I agree that if you break the rules, that is considered cheating, regardless of whether or not you did it on purpose or you didn't do it on purpose. If you break the rules, that's considered just cheating. Obviously, if you do it on purpose, I guess you could say it's bad cheating, but both in my book I consider cheating. So the thing is like when people throw the Frisbee, if you actually watch someone when they pivot, okay? Let's see if you can see. Oh, blue on blue. When you actually watch someone when they pivot, a lot of people, if you can see my foot, a lot of people get this left foot and they're just like crazy all over. And they travel all the time. And so technically in my book, that person's cheating constantly when they're playing ultimate. And how many times does that get called? Probably not that often. So that goes on to another whole aspect of how I think the traveling rule should be changed to where, because an ultimate, just the pivoting is a lot different than in other sports. Oh God, I had another point. All right, the traveling thing will be something else. Last point, this is gonna be under 20 minutes, and this is actually the most important point. So I really hope you actually are watching this. Most important point is this: in ultimate frisbee, redos. If I throw, we're just gonna say football and ultimate frisbee. Real quick analogy. All right, Russell Wilson throws that pass. Golden Tate, let's just say he catches it. Whatever, touchdown. Okay, awesome. But let's say it's ultimate. Let's go back. And let's say it has ultimate rules. Golden Tate thinks it was a touchdown. What was that guy? Kelly? No. Jennings. Jennings says, no, dude, that's an interception. So guess what happens? A redo happens. In football, what are the chances of Russell Wilson completing that pass again? I mean, how much money are you putting on that? That he can do that again? Very slim. So in football, redoing something, even though it doesn't exist, doesn't really have that much impact on the field of play for the offense. In Frisbee, redoing has a huge impact. One, because the amount of scoring is very limited in Ultimate. So getting 1 point is huge in Ultimate. And secondly, it's just like in tennis, where if you have the ball, if you're serving in tennis, you're supposed to win that game. just like in Ultimate. If you have the disc, you're supposed to score, and you're going to score more times than not. So if I throw a pass, okay, and my guy runs down and lays out and tries to catch it and doesn't catch it, and it's a turnover, but I call foul, and the guy's like, dude, I didn't foul you, you threw your arm in me. I'm like, let's just redo it. And he's like, okay, let's just redo it. That is a huge advantage for me and a terrible disadvantage for the defense. And that happens in Ultimate all the time. It's not, let's just redo it is not okay in my book. Let's just redo it makes me very upset. Because if I'm the defense and the guy's like, let's just redo it, I'm like, well, yeah, you want to redo it because you're going to score. It's impossible. It's almost nearly impossible, and especially in Elite Ultimate, to get turnovers. I mean, there's been games this year where a team turns the disc over twice. You get 2 touches. That's it. An entire game. So when you're like, oh, let's just redo it, that just, man, it's not the same, okay? So I just want to make that clear that the redo is not the same in other sports, because in Ultimate, when you have the disc, you're going to score 90% of the time or more. And a redo for the Ultimate is a huge advantage for the offense. That's all I've got to say. 21 minutes. Yes. Perfect number, right? Haha. Hopefully you guys watch this all. If not, we're doing a live chat tomorrow night with Grant from Wisconsin alumni, where I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about this stuff. So if you didn't end up watching a lot of this, or you have questions and you're not able to ask them, just make sure you're following me on Twitter or Facebook down below, and that's where I'll be posting the link to the live chat tomorrow night. I think it's going to be at 9 o'clock Eastern time, so hopefully you can tune in and check that out, and I'll see you guys later, man. It's been real. I got to go back and do more video editing. Can you see hoops in the window? No, you can't. All right, peace, man. Up.